From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Get ready for some heavy racing right here on Signature Esports. The Clash of the Giants Interleague Championship to determine the best league in sim racing on the iRacing platform. 3-race event, 75% lengths. It's going to show just who has the pace and has the speed. Each race will have a different car, Xfinity Gen 6 cars, and of course the 2022 next generation NASCAR. 20 drivers from each league are going to be competing for the ultimate bragging rights. Chop Shop Racing League and the greatest of all time racing league are going to be out there ready to put up or shut up. The Clash of the Giants will begin July 16th right here on Signature Esports. And for the senior out there, races are race controlled by Amar RC, and we'll see you on the racetrack. And of course, couldn't have any racing without your Sunday evening racing. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason here at Signature Esports. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have you here live and in charge, of course, for the No Toad Racing League. Little late night Sunday racing. These guys are ready to go. I tell you what, they're not running Nashville, so forgive the title that didn't update. They're running the brand new repaved Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Hotland is going to be exactly that, hot, as the starting grid starts to work out and make itself kind of known. 130 laps for the drivers, as Atlanta is going to be a ton of fun. And of course, I am always joined in the broadcast booth by Kyle. Kyle, how you doing, Mr. Grzech?
Doing good. Looking forward to this super speedway or pseudo super speedway racing.
Well, I do think we're going to see absolute fantastic green flag racing, and I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Davey Hendricks, your pole sitter here. Justin Malarkey's going to be there to his outside. We're going to roll through it quick. Dixon, Redding, Hattenbach, and Barton. That's going to be your first three rows. Piercini and Gary Sargent out there in row number 4. Will Jester, Jason Benson, Nick Biddy, and Willie Whitaker out there as well. Moving on down. Big one out, Brandon Robinson, Mike Corriveau, and Joseph Divide right there. James Lawson, John Campbell. Naj is out there. Crutchley says happy birthday to Cena out there as well, and I do too over here at Signature Esports. Happy birthday, dear. Hopefully you're 28 years young again. Ileana Hamilton is going to be there in the 73. Kerr, Kelly, Cooper, Barton. 12 rows, and I don't think we have anybody else. We do. There's Marshall McFly is going to be out there. Harris is going to be running green flag waves. What do we look for here, Kyle, when it comes to the green flag running?
All right, we got about 42 to 45 laps on fuel. That's going to be a little bit of a give or take. You can kind of extend it a little bit if you're in the pack. We got 4 sets of tires in the pits. It looks like throughout the race we're going to see tires be very, very important, as this is a tight radius super speedway. So long green flag run, you're going to expect kind of tire wear to come into it, and we're going to see some pushing, and we're potentially going to just see some bad handling wrecks as we see a 31 smack the wall up in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
Heavy right side, one fast repair for the drivers in the series. We did see the tire. You're talking about tire wears, but they do have a few extra sets as they come around. We see the 31 with that right side, the Altel looking pretty dinged up on the right side. 130 laps, 65% fuel, 5 sets of tires, one fast repair, and I tell you what, 96 degrees, and normally you see a track map there, but they haven't uploaded the track map, and right now the 13 all over the back bumper, the 31, getting them free. This thing drives like a super speedway is what I've been told.
Yeah, this really kind of drives like or reminds me of kind of like an 87 race at a bumpy Daytona, where you're kind of sliding into the corners and sliding off, and you're really fighting the wheel throughout the corner, not just kind of focused on keeping your line.
John Barton, fastest lap of the race, 31.44 in the draft right there. New cameras that I'm going to have to work on for this track, folks. So kind of using the staple of the track cams. I did make some close-up adjustments because, that's what I like to do. Hendricks out front, stayed Puft Marshmallow 200. And that is, of course, thank you to Mr. Benson out there. Jason Benson, the number 42 right there, running the Stay Puft Marshmallow. Kind of lovely Ghostbusters themed thing. They are looking exactly like they would look on on a super speedway. Very, very shaky in the corners.
Yeah, we saw a couple people kind of get snapped loose off the corners. A couple laps ago, Mike Corbu, it looks like he got snapped loose or just maybe had some sort of mechanical thing, just kind of drifted off the banking there and onto the apron on the backstretch. One of the big things here is this kind of nasty tri-oval. It's really, really hard for you to kind of pick a line. It's not the smoothed out version they just updated for real life. It's that classic tri-oval, but at a pack race.
Willie Whitaker has the fastest lap now, 31.13. And 37 trying to be super fast. Mark, thank you for the like out there. Appreciate you, folks. If you get an opportunity, like, follow, subscribe, do everything that you can, because that's how everybody gets a little bit more exposure. I tell you what, there is Mr. Dixon, Alan Dixon at the number 33, all over the back bumper of the 88. Big moves from the 98 of Rob Had. Mock up to the outside, 6 of 130 being completed. A little shell Ford Mustang rolling the outside lane. Xfinity cars are typically the ones that you see get dicey. It's a driver's car, and they feel every bit of the racetrack, and it's one of the sometimes the best running race lines that you get to see here. So 98 of Hadbach trying to make some pushes. There is Justin Malarkey. He's got more things on his car. He said he was going to put a little bit more every week.
Yeah, a couple extra logos there for Mr. Malarkey. Yeah, like these super speedway races, or not even the super speedway races, this race here at Atlanta, they're running a super speedway engine, but they're running the typical 1.5 mile aero package. So it's kind of a hybrid deal. So you do have the handling aspects kind of creeping in, like we saw in real life, where we're only able to really see these 2 lanes work, at least in these early runs, as people are just trying to ride calmly through the storm and hopefully not cause an accident.
Right along board with the man himself, Mr. Sargent from Greensboro, North Carolina. North Kakalaki out there. How you guys doing? The number 28 rolls the inside. We're seeing 2x2 racing. It is pack racing. It is draft racing. But look at the difference on the throttle control here. He's not full throttle. Now, I don't even think Davey Hendricks is full throttle into the corners right now. Nobody dropping below the new front stretch apron. We used to see that all the time at Atlanta. Very bumpy track. Looks like caution might come out here as we take a look and see what happens. Scott Kelly might be involved, and Mike Corvo as well. So we'll see what happens as they back it down. They're going to wait for the pace car. Of course, cautions, as always, brought to you by Nerds Do Nerd Things. Things. You can find them on the old Spotify platform, which that's where I get out there and I watch them. I listen to them. They do have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page. Make sure you go check them out. They've been talking over the Star Wars universe, and that ended their last episode for the Star Wars universe. Just happened this past Friday, so they've got a new one coming up this week. Scott Kelly right here in the 34 went off track. I think there was something in front of him that made that happen. And I believe it might have been Mike right here in the 77. So Mike gets up to the wall there into the 34. 22q.org just trying to hold on to it. Something happened there. It looked like he just straight turned right. Now, I haven't watched it with the next gen cars. That the next gen cars have been getting flat tires, and Mike was trying to recover here. Got around Scott Kelly into the corner. Like he was trying to avoid. Oh, that thing just turned straight right on him. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. He had a moment kind of coming off the corner. Usually when someone has a loose moment, you kind of see the back end step out and it kind of looks lazy. He kind of came off the banking there on the backstretch and kind of turned left off the apron kind of unnaturally. I think this does look just kind of like a mechanical sort of thing, as you said, where it just kind of doesn't turn. So potentially like a wheel freezing issue there, some sort of load on his computer that's kind of messing with his controls there.
It does happen that way. There's the 28 with the 97 there. Drivers that came to pit road. Well, Davey Hendricks came to pit road. He got himself a little bit of fuel. I think fuel's going to be a big factor here. Maybe a little bit of damage being repaired. 31 took a little bit of that damage as well. Did not take tires. Opted to get some of that right side taken care of, and with the fast repair, quite often I see drivers that do just that. They come in, they take and get their damage taken care of, or they want to buy their time for a green flag pit stop. Maybe if they can keep up and they can get some of that damage taken care of, they can save that fast repair for the end of the race when they can be stronger.
Yeah, a lot of people will save that fast repair for emergency purposes, especially at a track like this where it is prone to having big accidents. So, yeah, saving that fast repair can be a good thing, but also if you don't use it early enough, when you kind of get that small damage, it could potentially put you in a spot where you're multiple laps down, and using it really doesn't make a difference on your result at the end of the night.
We all want to see good results because we want to see everybody have the best race in the world. New static cams for the Atlanta Motor Speedway. They went ahead and installed those in iRacing. So I'm using those. I'm testing it out, folks. I want to see what they did differently. Because my track cameras that I had for Atlanta before, of course, don't work here because the track has changed. The overall shape, size, and where they put the NASCAR cameras have changed. But hopefully you're out there enjoying things at 60 frames per second, 1080p on all the platforms. Not only are we on Signature Esports platforms, but we're also on the No Toad Racing League YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go to YouTube.com, and hit that No Toad Racing League in the search channel, and you'll be able to find them just fine as you see them come around turn 3 and 4. Pace car is going to dive off, and for the second time, we're going to go green flag racing.
Yeah, we've got Hottenbach as the lead car on the inside. He's going to take off there. This is a super speedway race, so you don't want to get out too far because you're going to kind of put yourself in a bad position there. As we see Davey Hendricks coming up right behind him. Davey Hendricks just going to push him and not kind of push the issue there. Just try to keep the line going and hopefully kind of have the whole group here kind of single file out as we see John Barton go to the outside.
Who'd have thunk it that it'd been the Atlanta Super Speedway? It's a 1.5 mile super speedway. Come on now. Hendricks back to the outside. Barton with him. 98 it's kind of stuck to the inside there. I don't know if that's being stock or if it's just hard to turn because Gary's trying to get with him. And a big checkup on the inside as Hendricks goes to the bottom. Gary Sargent there in the 28. We were riding along with him. Michael ready to the outside. Again, I have to say it time and time again. Naj wanted to say happy birthday to the missus. Cena, hopefully you're out there watching. Happy birthday to you, dear. I'm going to make sure I say it as well. Happy birthday from all of us over here at Signature Esports and the No Toad Racing League. We like birthdays. Birthdays are always great. So if it's your birthday out there, make sure you reach out and let us know. We'll say it. I don't mind saying it live. I don't care what platform I'm on. You could be in the No Toad Racing League, and it could be Monday, and it could be your birthday. So the IVRL is going to hear that you had a birthday. That's what's going to happen.
And for Cena, luckily, Naj is taking the cautious approach here, kind of being in the back as we see the 33 car get into the wall there. Yeah, he's just riding around in the back, kind of one of those people that are electing to run in the back away from the pack and either preparing for an accident or just kind of taking the safe route there.
I think he's got some right side here. He does. He got a little bit of right side. Well, he got punted. He was clean a moment ago. Hold the phone. Caution's going to come out here. He got, hold on. There's the 34. He kind of pops off the wall right there. Oh, gets into the 13 and then hits the 48. Oh, no. No. It does happen. Hopefully he was able to keep going. Scott Kelly was stuck on the wall. He got arced to the wall, and that's what they call that. So Crutchley's going to come around. No doubt take some time on pit road, maybe. He was trying to avoid it, but he didn't.
That was probably a bit of a commentator's curse there. I'll make sure not to do that again. But it was, yeah, it looked like Al Corey was just trying to rejoin the racetrack there. Kind of came up a little bit, and Kelly kind of reacted and probably went against the banking a little too much and just got tight and washed up and smacked the wall. And then, like you said, kind of got arced, or the fender or the car just kind of sticks in the wall, and you got to yank it to pull it off and cause that accident there.
Here's when the caution came out. Here's Al Corey, the 45. There's a 73 with him. Eliana Hamilton. They had a good run of speed here, some pace. Got in the corner. Been too big out of that. Yeah, you feel bad. Scott Kelly. Scott Kelly getting some fun there. We'll take a look one more time at what Scott was going on. Come on, back up. Come on, back up.
Yeah, and so far in this race, we have lost Kelly, and we've also lost Koravu now, or we've lost Kelly now, but we lost Koravu earlier to connection issues. But I think Koravu leaving was more up to the fact he was having some sort of wheel problem.
And that might have been again, like you were talking about that mechanical function that's going to happen. Kelly there again, just the 45 down low, was able to hold on to it. I don't know. It's like a knee-jerk reaction that kind of messed the whole thing up there. Things do happen. So Al Corey's going to rejoin. I do believe Kelly, you said, was going to be out of the race. That's unfortunate. He didn't really need to leave, I don't think, unless he had already had to use his fast repair. But
he had a upload packet loss issues, so it was not
that's what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Elective leave.
Dang old packet loss. Dang old servers. Servers are having trouble everywhere. I was playing Star Citizen earlier, and I tell you what, the 30Ks that I got with that were just insane. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, folks. Let us see. Thank you for the likes out there. Appreciate you.
Got
somebody watching over in Japan. Thank you very much. Japan or China. Thank you so much.
Got a KPTV 75 Pointers Motor Supplies commenting about your amazing intro video. So.
Well, thank you, Kelly. You're amazing, dude. Kelly Pointer, KPTV 75. Are you watching on the No Toad series? Or are you watching on my YouTube? You're watching on the No Toad. Nice. Full send, brother. Glad you went over there. KPTV 75. You want some good content? That's a guy you should follow as well. Gotta get over there and watch what he does. He's been doing some tutorials here lately on how to drive certain tracks. Kelly, you gotta tell me what's going on. What's up?
We got an explanation for the last caution there. Douglas Kelly had an iRacing freeze. iRacing crashed. All he had was audio and a frozen screen.
Oh no. Well, I tell you what, this game is this simulator has been. It's a new track too, and so I'm watching. Believe it or not, I'm actually watching this track for the first time as the new Atlanta, and I think it's quite interesting to see what this track is doing. Sorry, not sorry. Davey Hendricks says Matt Rusini's going to be there in second. Hattenbach picks up third. Gary Sargent works himself to fourth, so Gary trying to make some things happen here. But Nick Biddy looking to close the door on that. It's the 46 slides from the inside. Good draftability here. The 28 might have to just kind of fall in line here for a second. Maybe get a run on the front straightaway, get into that tri-oval. Corners of the tri-oval, a little bit tricky here because that bottom of the racetrack now is designed to help the car turn rather than drive straight across it. So folks are going to be starting to utilize that as well.
And an interesting thing here, we have Kendall Kerr in the race. Kendall Kerr is our champion from last year, and he's unfortunately been absent from the first couple of races, so it's nice to see him back in the series.
Kerr getting used to the track, getting used to the field. Purina all over that one. Maybe that's his, is that his cat, or is that just somebody else's cat? I have to ask.
That's always a good thing about pet schemes. You can put your thing on there, your own animal on there, and just kind of act like it's...
Yeah, like it's one of the actual sponsors. So we've had people do that. We've had people do that in the past, and I still think it's cool. I think it's really awesome. Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Thank you to all the folks out there doing what you do. The No Toad Racing League stuff, not No Toad, the Chop Shop Racing League stuff that you guys were, if you saw that commercial in the very beginning, that has everything to do with the Chap Shop and the Goat Racing League. They're going to be running a huge event. We're going to be doing some stuff with them. I'm going to be broadcasting it, but we're going to do some giveaways and stuff like that. So I encourage you to tune in. We're going to find out which of the two Thursday and Saturday night series are going to be the best series, because they both run Xfinity series on Thursdays. But they kind of work together and run hand in hand. So this next Saturday, we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna enjoy trying to little net code from the 31 to the 37 there. We're gonna be making that work. We're gonna have some fun with that. I encourage you, if you want to be out there, to step up. Kendall Kerr getting the fastest lap of the races last time by 31:01. So he's decidingly faster at the moment, beating out the next fastest lap by a full 10th.
Yeah, we're starting to see some people kind of entering the corner and having that wash-up effect. They're starting to get tight in the middle of the corner, especially on landing. This is a part of the run where you got to be really, really careful here if someone's on your outside and they're being aggressive with the side draft, not to kind of wash up and door check them.
3 lanes on the backstretch. You can utilize all 3 lanes in the corners, but this is too tight of a track that I think that you wouldn't want to do that. 1.5 mile tracks are not meant for 3 wide, except for on the back straightaway and the front straightaway. But this one does look like it can run that way. Gary Sargent giving a big shove to Nick Biddy. Some of the faster laps coming from those who are drafting. Not only drafting, but being right there on the back bumper. 28 tries to roll in the corner. Right there on the back bumper of Nick Biddy. Little pool room. What do you call Nick? He's the most famous person from Dawsonville.
Yep. It's the only person from Dawsonville that you should remember. Nobody of any other importance as Parasini washes up there.
And making me nervous. You feel the anticipation happening. It's like building. It's like a cork in a champagne bottle. I'm just waiting for it to go. And then kaboom, crash, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, this is a champagne bottle. That front straightaway tri-oval is the stairs that you drop it down, because you're all over the place. You can kind of see everyone kind of choosing their line through there. Through the tri-oval, but they're or the quad oval, sorry, and they're just moving around because either you're getting unsighted or you don't necessarily know where you're wanting to go. As the 28 gets really close to the back bumper of Biddy there exiting the corner.
I think Gary's trying to help Biddy get out front so he can take over that spot. He's got a lot of speed right there, but it's forcing these drivers to be loose. Going to the nose cam of Davey Hendricks here. You watch the bottom line. And as he gets into 3, it still flattens out, but it doesn't have the natural bump hook that you're used to seeing. So it's a very smooth track right now. The part that isn't smooth is right here. That part right there, you see the dip into the white and red line. That part of the white and red line actually will hook the tire and make that car turn. And you don't want to utilize that too much. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, and it's important to note for the No Toad Racing Series, we do have a double yellow line rule, but I guess for here it's the double white line with red in the middle. You're not allowed to advance a position with that below that line there, so you need to be careful about that. But yeah, you're talking about these pushes. You really, really need to be able to get to that person's bumper and stay on their bumper entering the corner, because you need to push that person into the corner and maintain that momentum throughout.
Parasini getting right below the yellow line there. That might be the driver I want to follow along with here in the next nose cam. Watch the run that he gets to the back bumper of the 88. It's into the bottom lane. Drifts up the racetrack a little bit right here. Comes down. This is going to be bumpy right about here. Yeah, you can just hear it in the tires. You can hear it right there. It just wants to shake the car. And you can really see it, folks. Tell you what, whatever they did to this track to make it render better, I know it's a new track, but not only are the cars rendering better, but the track is rendering better. And so they need to do this to the rest of the...
Oh, Davey Hendricks, it's fun.
Oh, big one happening. 31 up into the wall, 24 down. Piercini gets into the right, or the left rear, I do believe, of the 88 there, and that's kind of what causes that. Man, oh man, 88 gets turned up into the track. We'll go back and take a look at it, but the next caution happens. I do believe Nick Biddy's still, I don't know who your race leader is going to be. That's just rough. That's just rough. Caution.
We got lot of cars were up here. We got a couple people with meatballs. Yeah, just really need to be aggressive with that pushing in, but it looks like Parasini kind of misjudged it and kind of got into the back uh, of Davey Hendricks there and just kind of had that cause that accident there. Unfortunate.
Here's a look at the replay, folks. 24 gets to the back bumper, tries to give him a shove, and then I think he got a little net code advanced, and then he's just nonstop shoving the back bumper of the 88. Can't get out of it. By the time he gets out of it and sees the 88 turning, he's got a rear end full of the 89 there. Not much you can do about it. And hold on, that's one more time here. Yeah, the 98. Sorry, he had the 98. Rob Hattenbach right there. Just trying to slow up, couldn't. 37 gets a little bit there as well. I don't want to ride along with the 31 here. Or the 31. We're talking about meatballs, folks. Meatballs mean the meatball flag means that you are done for the day, or done for that lap. If they have a fast repair still, then that kind of works to their favor. Let's see. Redding is your race leader, and cockpit view. Here's what happened in front of him. Oh, he sees it, and nowhere to go. Ouch.
Yeah, not that many cars caught up in that accident, actually. We've got a couple spinners, we got a couple bits of contact, but no really kind of hard contact for anybody outside of Davey and the 31 car.
Tell you what,
and the 28 car's got a meatball too.
Tell you what, Michael's got Michael Redding of the 31. He's got no front clip. He's the best looking modified out there right now. He might have just had to wait to come down pit road. Corey's going to be a race leader. Benson comes in behind. Nick Biddy's going to be there as well. Yeah, you talk about good pace and good strategy, good speed. And that's kind of my big factor when it comes to these races, is making sure that that's the first and foremost thing that you do. See if Mike has a fast repair. We knew that earlier. He came in and got a little bit of the damage repaired, but does he have a brand new car? Nope. Does not have a brand new car. He is getting fixed. Nope. Good.
We mentioned earlier he had the wall scrape. I wonder if he maybe took the fast repair there when he had that wall scrape earlier.
Well, he can still be the best looking modified out there. He's getting tires right now, so we'll see if maybe he's just trying to save that. Maybe he's still too young of a race for him to decide. When he came into pit road that first during that first caution, he didn't really he didn't get any of that damage repaired. I think he was just looking at it. So you talk about the best time to take a fast repair is at the end of the race. That's my opinion, because unless you are completely destroyed, there's no reason to do it. Does that say student driver on the back left of the 46?
I will go check that out.
Al Corey, Nick Biddy, Alan Dixon, Willie Whitaker. Green flag, they're going. How old is Nick Biddy?
Oh, it is. It does say student driver.
Does it?
I've been behind him a couple times and I've never noticed that.
I've only seen that sticker for my kids. Yeah, that's a real deal. So I think that's the only reason why I recognized it, is because we had it on the Nick Biddy to the bottom. Dixon stays up high. Al Corey's going to be a race leader here. Side by side for second. They're going to go back to side by side for a little bit. I think the 37 of Whitaker is going to be there as well. Joseph in the 6. There's a whole lot of Ileana Hamilton, but there goes Kendall Kerr. You talk about Kendall Kerr being up there. Last year's champion. Has the High Point logo on the top. Not the No Toad Racing League. Caution again. Redding does have a fast repair now. He did go ahead and use it. Gary's in pit road. I don't know what happened there. Folks, caution again. It's going to be brought to you by Nerds Do Nerd Things.
Trying to see what happened here, folks. That's what we're trying to see. Somebody must have gotten loose because that is the only thing
I have an explanation.
Was it an oops?
There was some sort of black flag issue
Hmm.
where we've had a couple cars potentially that have gone a lap down. So they just threw a caution here to give somebody a wave around, and or no, they're giving EOLs to some of the people that got black flags cleared. I don't know. It's a whole admin thing. They know the situation. But yeah, there's some sort of scoring error with a penalty there.
No worries. Fourth caution brought to you by drivers. that's the way we're gonna describe it. It's gonna be a caution. It's gonna be a hydrate break, folks. Kyle and I every once in a while need to make sure that we hydrate, wet our whistles, so that way we can make sure things are good to go. And while we do that, I'm gonna send you over so you can watch my commercial again. It's pretty darn awesome. I like it. Right back.
Get ready for some heavy racing right here on Signature Esports. The Clash of the Giants Interleague Championship to determine the best league in sim racing on the iRacing platform. 3-race event, 75% lengths. It's going to show just who has the pace and has the speed. Each race will have a different car, Xfinity Gen 6 cars, and of course the 2022 Next Generation NASCAR. 20 drivers from each league are going to be competing for the ultimate bragging rights. Chop Shop Racing League and the greatest of all time Racing League are going to be out there ready to prep or shut up. The Clash of the Giants will begin July 16th right here on Signature Esports. We look forward to seeing you out there. Races are race controlled by MRRC, and we'll see you on the racetrack.
Back at it again. They're going to be going double file. We're trying to get the race information on what happened there. At least Kyle's doing that, but he can hear everything on the back end. He's trying to figure out kind of what happened and kind of what's going on, so that way we can have that. We want to know when there's drama to be unfolded. We want to know what it is. And I think everybody's on the lead lap, but a couple of drivers now. Gary's on pit road. No, he had to tow, I think, or he towed or either sat back and is looking at something. Mike is back on the racetrack. He's got some dings and dangs that he has to get taken care of still. Scott Kelly is out of the race still. Marshall Harris is taking care of the numbers for us, I believe. It's 14. All right, lights are going to be off on the pace car. We're going to go back at it. It's Nick Biddy, the student driver, tries to put the faded TV to shame as Robinson is going to be to the outside. It's going to be 4 Toyota and 2 Chevys right behind those two. Man, oh man. Stay Puffed, brought to you by Jason Benson. Mr. Benson's having just kind of one of those days as well. He's kind of riding in the back. Got John Campbell there. I think everybody's just trying to make sure things are figured out. I really like this car. It's a simple paint scheme. Yes, it's a real product. Yes, it did. It was one of those ones that you could see in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Stay Puffed Marshmallow is an actual product. Just was made more prominent because of the Ghostbusters movie. We absolutely love that. So, yeah. All right, double file. Oh, Corey, kind of just holding that higher line, waiting for the green flag. Nick Biddy goes now. I don't know, Kyle. It kind of seems like they might need some separation here. Do you kind of want the race leader to jump a little bit, or do you want to let it back up like this?
I kind of like the idea of kind of having a pack kind of string out, but it depends on where the person is behind me. You kind of want the person behind you, and then everyone else kind of strung out, because at least at that point it kind of singles everything out to kind of making decisions. You have one line of car that's coming and potentially has momentum, as we see Alcor get very high there in the middle of 3 and 4.
45, try to make some things work here. I don't know. I think folks are just trying to... I would be wanting to bide my time right here. As Nick Biddy rolls the corner, Kerr try to make some moves, try to be the fastest driver out there, but I see smoke. I see tires. Something was smoking on that back, the beginning part of that back straightaway. 46, 56, 33. That's going to be the running order, but the 33 battles back to the inside. Allen Dixon trying to make it work. Whoa. Man, I tell you what. Oh, somebody in the wall back there. Somebody. No, that wasn't Malarkey. Who was that?
That was Will Jester, the 74 car. He got in the wall through the tri-oval.
He said, who are you going to call? The wall. Sorry, I had to make a ghost. He's wearing a Ghostbusters. It's like the 80s for me again, or 90s. Whichever. I'm old. Jester, the 74. He's able to rebound, though. So that right side damage on these, of course, we've known this about the B cars. The B cars tend to be able to take a licking and keep on ticking. But he's been able to, he's able to kind of run forward. Robinson able to work the outside lane. Kerr kind of wobbles himself throughout the series here, trying to push some boundaries, push some buttons. Kerr with the 3094 on the I rating. Robinson with the 1914. Nick Biddy 1400 flat. Biddy right to the front. Talk about I ratings, talk about safety ratings. It doesn't really matter. It's all about league racing. And that's what we call here.
Yeah, Biddy's a very confident super speedway racer. He's always one of those people that you got to watch out for when you're doing a super speedway race. We did a couple races here, and he was definitely one of the most aggressive people when it comes to kind of maintaining a run and kind of maintaining the lanes. As we see the 98 in the background just slow up. That was bizarre.
Huge run gone. Little nose right there. Hattenbach has that damage from that early issue. There's Redding in a 31 with his brand new car. No longer missing a clip. Ileana Hamilton, the 73. Big run right there. Nobody's able. They're all running super speedway lines. Nobody's able to utilize that natural run up the racetrack and down. This is becoming and it's looking like a 1.5 mile super speedway. Everybody's running 31.1s. This almost reminds me when they released the next gen car for iRacing, and the first week they ran it on Charlotte, and everybody was running the same kind of pace, same kind of speed, and seeing that happen here, seeing as it is the same way kind of in real life, it's interesting to know, and to denote that this engine is holding true the same way. Everybody holding that bottom line. Nobody able to make anything faster. You would think that you're going to see the 29 9s and the 30 35s for most of the drivers. I mean, for the fastest laps, so we're about to be 3 wide, and somebody's about to get a nose full. A little lap traffic in front of the race leaders.
Yeah, you talk about the natural line in the next gen car. That's a good example of when it was originally had that like 510 package that was the original plan for it. But yeah, it all depends on what the person out front is doing. You can't really dictate kind of what to do if you're not doing it yourself. You see the 56 of Robinson kind of getting on the door of the car on the inside, but constricting his entry. I like running the high line here, and I like kind of doing that wide entry, kind of that not super speedway, but that speedway line where you're kind of not scrubbing speed and you're kind of keeping the tires under you. I think later on in the race we're going to see the tires come into play, because when we did our practice race on Wednesday, it got to the point where we were starting to get in behind cars and kind of just naturally having oversteer, and 1 or 2 people kind of spun, myself included, once you got later in the run and you were trying to cut from the top to the bottom.
56 leads that lap, and just barely on the high side. We're seeing the diciness start to increase here. 48 of 130, not quite halfway through this one. But we are seeing drivers start to prepare for what is seemingly highline run. Blink from the driver. No. Blink from the driver. I saw somebody disappear and reappear. I think it was the 24 was in and out there for a second, and it kind of makes me wonder if the server is just kind of being what it can be. And Naj involved, Barton involved, Whitaker involved, Campbell involved. Everybody doing 5th caution of the race. This one is actually a real one. And holy cow. Hold on, be right back. Caution.
Yeah, it looked like 24 was gone for me. There's a bit of accident there on the bottom lane.
Right, late to the rest of it.
having a little bit of connection through the thing, I think, with your voice. So I have everyone on my screen.
Mm-hmm. Gone and back again. 37 got into the 33, and that thought possibly the 24 was at fault there, but he was not.
Yeah, it really just looks like the 37 was just trying to enter the corner, and either I'm not sure. Maybe we can kind of get a rear chase view of or a far chase view of his car. Maybe he got loose, and that's what caused him to kind of quickly cut down like that and hit the 33. Just a very weird accident. It's a product of this racing where we have these moments of where we're checking up so much, entering the corners. So it's kind of an accordion effect.
Lot of net code. Whole lot of net code. On my end. 37 and 68. 37 comes into the corner naturally like he did. Little net code there, little net code there. 24 blinks in, little net code from that. Little loose, would there have been contact? Possibly. Alrighty, folks. Taking a vocal break. I'll be back. I'm gonna let Kyle call the race.
Yeah, so anybody else that was involved in the accident kind of got light damage. You saw the 48 of Nodge got just slight contact with the very crippled car of John Barton there. Getting ready to go green. Got the 56 of Brandon Robinson on the front row here. And green flag is out. The 56 gets a really good jump here. The outside lane is lined up and is going to have momentum. But it's what they do with it as we see a car leave the high lane and jump to the low lane. The 45 has got a big pack of cars behind him, and the 45 has momentum. As the 45 of Al Corey, as Nick Biddy tries to get to the quarter panel. Robinson runs middle. Robinson gets put in the middle 3 wide. Robinson files in line behind the 45. Biddy on the outside all by himself. We see Alan Dixon kind of looking indecisive on which line he's going to go with, but it looks like he's going to stick with the bottom lane. Got Al Corey being defensive here. He moves up high, but it looks like he just left the bottom door open there for Brandon Robinson. Brandon Robinson to the lead. Got a bit of a high line formed here, but they just don't have the momentum that they used to have there throughout the run. You got Biddy to the back bumper of Al Corey on the outside with Robinson on the inside with the 98 right behind him. We're 2 wide as we see Al Corey getting loose and kind of getting up the hill here. We had a bunch of people pit there, but might have differences in what you're doing with tire strategy. Al Corey on the outside, just even with the back bumper of the 98. You're going to see this high line kind of get a run. Is in the background, we have a car that just smacked the wall. We're going to stay green because no one's sideways. As we come through the tri-oval, we're going to complete lap 55 as all sorts of jacked up through the pack. No accident, we stay green. Al Corey is starting to get the high lane working with Nick Biddy pushing him in the 46. Robinson looks like he got side drafted there, and he's going to fall back as Al Corey gets the run. Is he going to take it to the front? No, they kind of equal out. Yeah, this whole front stretch with the, as Biddy takes him 3 wide middle. Al Corey running a little bit too high there. Got a lot of movement in the pack. Robinson still leads. Biddy's the first car on the outside lane. Alan Dixon had a shot to jump up with him, but he did not take it. Biddy's got a long way back until the next car behind him. We see Brandon Robinson running the bottom line here, kind of running that constricting groove. Yeah, we see the bottom groove here kind of rolling good here as we got the pairing of Nick Biddy and Joe David on the outside line here. Joe David's not able to get to the back bumper of the 46 to kind of help that outside lane momentum. '98 car kind of sticking out there, either trying to get a reference point of where he was entering the corner or just trying to look underneath. 46 and Nick Biddy gets alongside the second place car on the inside line as Alan Dixon gets a little bit sideways there. Nick Biddy's able to get this high lane to work as it's kind of gained momentum with the cars that have decided to go to the high side. You see in the outside lane, you got the 46 of Biddy, the 6 of Joe David, and the 97 of Justin Malarkey. On the inside lane, you have the 56 car of Brandon Robinson. You've got the 98 of Robert Hottenbach, the 33 of Alan Dixon, and the 45 of Al Corey, the 68 of John Barton, who was involved in that last caution. Yeah, Biddy does not look like he can get far enough up to kind of pull Robinson back, because it looks like the 98 of Hottenbach is going to go 3 wide bottom. We're 3 wide for the lead. It looks like Biddy's going to clear. Oh, the 98 of Hottenbach gets on the apron. In reaction, the 33 of Alan Dixon gets involved. Yeah, big stack up there. Caution came out. Trying to get a list of who was involved. Yeah, these new cameras are hard to kind of see what exactly happened, but it looks like Alan. The 97 ends up sliding down the track, and the 68 gets caught up in that wreck as well. The 97 kind of hits the outside wall hard enough to where he'd be considering taking his fast repair here. He's got no rear bumper on his car. Yeah, you see the cars coming onto pit road. Got Kendall Kerr, who is in the lead. He stayed out. He dropped to the back of the pack there once they got going, so he potentially was just kind of riding there and saving fuel. So right now, lined up behind the pace car, you have the 21 of Kendall Kerr. You've got the 13 of Dustin Barton. Behind him, you've got Mike Korovu, who is a couple laps down. He's 5 laps down currently. He had the wheel issue earlier on. Behind him, Alan Dixon, who was running very well there, and he actually did a really good job to save his car during that accident, as we all saw. He did make some contact with the wall, but he mostly saved it. You got Davey Hendricks, who this season has been on amazing form. He has currently got 4 wins on the season, so this could be his 5th win in 6 races. So, an amazing season for him in this series. You've got Joe David behind him. He's also somebody to look out for. He's really good on the super speedway races, and he works really well with Nick Biddy. Those two tend to work with each other. In 7th place, you got Nick Robinson, Brandon Robinson. He is the previous broadcaster for the series. I partnered him for the second half of the season last year, as we're doubled up here for the restart. Alright, so we are doubled up here for the restart. The 21 car of Kendall Kerr is your leader. He is our champion from the previous year in the Xfinity series. This is his first start of the season, so nice to see him back. I mentioned that earlier, but give him some love for how good of a run he did last year and kind of how talented of a driver he is. You've got Dustin Barton on the outside of him as we get ready to go green. Green flag, and Kendall gets a amazing jump. Davey Hendricks had a choice there of checking up and staying behind the 13 or trying to go to the outside and make it 3 wide off the start, but he stays behind him and stays loyal, and it looks like it's going to bite him as the 13 of Dustin Barton jumps down to the bottom ahead of Joe David. The 88 is staying on the outside as we see the leaders here. Kendall gets a very, very good run, and the 33 is going to get back to him with help from Nick Biddy. 33 is on the outside, but it looks like he's in the minority here as the bottom groove has momentum. Biddy behind Kendall Kerr, and Kendall's going to start. Oh, he goes to the high side. Somebody's blinking there. I don't know if they came back yet. Alan Dixon goes to the bottom. That outside lane does not have the cars at the moment to kind of maintain. Kendall's really got to fight it here and kind of get on the door here. And you don't know the condition of his tires at the moment, so he might not be able to get down on the door of the car underneath of him. So we're currently, as we see Brandon Robinson kind of figuring out which lane he's trying to run with, as Kendall Kerr is very high there. So we've got a 2-car breakaway at the front and then 2 cars behind them, 2 wide, but we've got so many cars on the bottom here that it's going to be a hard task for these 2 cars on the outside to kind of hold steady. We see the 97 of Justin Malarkey in the back here kind of running up towards the front as the 13 of Dustin Barton kind of runs there as, oh, we get contact. 13 car saves it. Al Corey almost turned the 13 there as we see Alan Dixon getting loose and hitting the wall up front. A lot of movement going on here, a lot of things to follow. Kendall Kerr underneath Nick Biddy for the lead as Brandon Robinson kind of picks who he wants to run with. Looks like he's going to pick Nick Biddy as Justin Malarkey looks high on the outside. Oh no! Kendall Kerr gets tagged. moves up and almost causes a wreck, and they're starting to wreck now. No caution. So there's about 2 accidents that happened there. It was very hard to follow. And currently we have Brandon Robinson, who's out front, and he's got 2 cars following him from behind. Looks like the 98 of Pottenbach with the 33 of Alan Dixon. That whole front stretch problem there looked like a kind of a line miscommunication. They kind of made contact there, and someone got knocked onto the apron, and they were dead sideways, and they washed back up onto the apron there. I was very surprised that wasn't a caution, as someone else got tagged trying to make it by him. So currently out front, you've got Brandon Robinson as Alan Dixon looks to the outside and hits the wall. Joe David into second place with Al Corey behind him. It looks like Alan Dixon's car is way more hurt. Got the 98 of Pottenbach in fourth. Joe David just running behind the 56 here. Not making any moves. We're single file for the first 3 as we see Hottenbach running to the outside of Al Corey. All right, the pack is starting to bunch as we've got some cars kind of rejoining as they've gained momentum to catch up. We've got an outside lane with about 3 cars in it as we see Matt Parasini on the very, very outside, kind of coming up to the back of Hottenbach. Joe David is on the outside with Brandon Robinson on the bottom. Looks like the outside line has momentum as they have got 4 cars tightly packed up. Brandon Robinson is going to have to make a decision here if he wants to go to the high side or not. It's a little bit late to make the decision as he lets Joe David get to the outside of him. The high line rolling here as we see Joe David kind of inch ahead there entering as we see Parasini kind of disappear. We see them kind of washing up, especially on the high lane there. I don't know if that's a tactic by Joe to kind of maintain the rolling speed as we look 3 wide here. We stay 2 wide. Yeah, we just had a car disappear. I'm not sure where they went. It was the 98 of Hottenbach as we look and we see, oh no! Brandon Robinson makes contact with the 45 and causes a huge accident. Yeah, huge pileup. Yeah, the 45 got under the 56 there. Yeah, the 45 came up a little bit and hit the 56, but yeah, that was a weird motion. He just popped up in the air. I've never seen a car kind of get hip checked like that and just launch. That was something.
With the way the physics have worked with iRacing over the last couple of months, they've started introducing the way the tires react to the way the vehicles react to each other. So tires can drag on top of each other and spin them up in the air. That is something that's been happening. It's been happening pretty frequently. Looked like Al Corey kind of dropped below the line there. Apologies about that, folks. I had my mom call. It was kind of important, and I needed to take care of it. Thank you very much, Kyle, for doing what you do. Rob Hattenbach's going to be your race leader here, and Whitaker's going to be the outside. Looks like you're going to be a free pass here from looking like the 77. 77 is going to be still a few laps down. 4 laps down it does look like, and so he's going to be still trying to make some things work. Redding is a lap down as well. A lot of drivers in on pit road trying to get some things taken care of. Some fast repairs still being used 98-37, 45-6, 46 going to be your top 5. Hamilton, Cooper, Hendricks, Crutchley, and Lawson will be in the top 10. Nige still trying to recoup from some of the stuff that happened earlier. Again, big happy birthday to Cena out there. Thank you very much for everybody tuning in. No Toad Racing League Xfinity Series being eventful today.
Yeah, I'm struggling to kind of have these viewpoints as we're at a new track and kind of missing some good camera angles, so I was unable to kind of quickly be able to see where some of the stuff was happening. So just those issues of new tracks.
All good. You're doing fine. Now Al Corey was coming out the corner. He had his nose right exactly where he needed to be. Defending the zone. 56 was defending there and just running his line. Al Corey went got into the back corner panel of the 56, and that's when the tires touched each other, it sent the car kind of going crazy, just like it would in real life. Try to introduce the same physics they would before. All that congestion that happened before, everybody just did a really good job of saving it. When we thought there might have been a caution, no, they just did a fantastic job of saving it, showing how great drivers get out there and are able to make sure that they can keep it from turning right. Because something that we see a lot in the Xfinity Series is that these cars have a tendency to snap. And today, not the case. It's been a good race here at Atlanta. 7th caution, 6 for incident, 1 for admin, an admin thrown caution to make sure some things were taken care of. And right now, some drivers back here kind of beating and banging on each other. Not quite sure what's going on there. 31 of Redding back here. He's dropping to the back. Something's happening here.
Yep. Got some bit of communication on what's going on. Just trying to let a bunch of people by other people when it's all late because of iRacing timing. Just one of those things we're trying to figure out, and a little bit of miscommunication.
98-37, 45-6, 46-73, 21-88, 56-97. Pace cars in. My mom is the most next to the wife and the kids. My mom's the most important person in my life, and when she calls and it's important, I have to answer. So I do apologize about that, folks. It doesn't happen. That does not happen. So when that happens, as a 40-year-old, you go, I need to answer that. Your mom calls, it's usually important. She usually calls when something happens. Big pack racing back here. Drivers missing clips, a whole lot of dents and dings, and some new cars try to make some things work as well. Al Corey, your race leader, Nick Biddy to the backside of him. The 6 of Joseph David right there, trying to make something work for himself. Pack racing here at Atlanta has been pretty much the stint of it. Davey Hendricks trying to get back to the pole position that he started in. Right now, Al Corey to the bottom side, Nick Biddy trying to run the outside.
Yeah, Al Corey there is just kind of getting all over the place, just having a hard time kind of keep the car on the bottom. We saw him entering the corner and kind of washing up those couple grooves. You know, these things aren't that easy to drive, especially when you get a couple laps on these tires. I know we've said they've been pretty handy in traffic, but I think it's because we've had cautions break it up and not had these long runs. So I think once we get a long run here, we could potentially see some problems with tires. Yeah, we're getting really close here entering the corner. Yeah, when you're on the low line, you can kind of see when someone's having trouble there when they're kind of entering the corner and they can't kind of keep it down on that white line.
Part of the issue that I'm seeing right now is that drivers are seeing where they're being left a lot of ground here. 45 drops below the apron right there. First time we've seen a driver take and commit the full car to it. Right now, a whole lot of shaking going on. And they are really, really loose. So a whole lot of mistakes can be made if you can't keep a hold of that wheel. And right now we're seeing just that. A lot of drivers shaking it up. Justin Malarkey even trying to get himself down. Malarkey, somebody I tout as one of the best drivers that I get to see get in the series. And if he's getting a little bit free and anxious on the corner, I could see that happening as well.
Yeah, Malarkey's the only person that has won this year whose name isn't Davey Hendricks. So, yeah, he's up here. He's still in contention. We don't see the 88 up front here. So, well, he is right with the 97. So, those two kind of fighting it out here. Is you see Nick Biddy up in the front, just getting able to kind of surpass Al Corey's line there. You can start telling when the tires really start to wear when you can kind of see the outside lanes start to be able to prevail because they can hold the momentum and they can kind of run an even line. When you're running that inside line, you're constricting those front tires and you are wearing them out, and that's going to slowly become worse and worse and worse, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to keep that thing on the bottom.
Without being able to drop into a corner to carry momentum, that's the hardest part. The thing the 46 is doing is he's keeping that second lane. If he gets any further or higher up on that second lane, that right front's going to be destroyed. So right now, Corey to the inside leads that lap. They're alternating times getting in, but right now, a whole lot of non-help going on as Willie Whitaker in the 37 just biding his time. The 6 of Joseph David gets out there as well. 56 of Brandon Robinson says, hey, I'm back. Let's go. Get out of my way. 3 wide in the corner.
3 wide bottom.
You gave up the nose. You give up the nose. What is it? You lose your you move your seat, lose your seat, or move your meat, lose your seat. That's exactly what happened there. 37 that came up into the line. 56 found his way into the corner. And right now, that's exactly what's going to happen again if that doesn't change. 56 of Brandon Robinson trying to make it work. May go to the outside of the 45. Might have a draft run here. 45 to the inside. Robinson to the outside, pulling Nick Biddy. Move over. Turn 3, very busy right now. 56, good run. 45, trying to pull a side draft. 37 to the backside. Side-by-side racing once again.
Yeah, you saw there on the backstretch, Al Corey was running a bit of a middle line, so Willie Whitaker was going right behind him and following that as we see Joe David get really close to smacking the outside wall. Oh, close contact there with the 46 and the 45 in the middle of the corner. But yeah, if you're running that middle line, you got to have faith that the person behind you kind of stays in line. You see Brandon Robinson running the bottom. That's going to be harder on those front tires entering as we see Al Corey get really close again with the 46 on the outside. So the 56, Brandon Robinson, he's kind of burning up those tires, and he probably has a way to enter that low side and be able to keep those tires underneath of him. But it's the defensive line here to run the bottom because you kind of force everyone to go to the outside of you. But it's like I keep saying, it's restricting on the tires. So he's running strong there on the bottom.
High horsepower, low downforce. This means that this is going to run like a super speedway, folks. That's pretty much what you're seeing here. Super speedway racing for the Xfinity Series in the 1.5 track. 45 of Al Corey drops back to 4th. The 6 car runs the high side. Both drivers inside 1st and 3rd. They're up 13. A big change right there as Nick Biddy runs the outside line again. A lot happening behind. 96 of Brian Cooper up 15. Biggest mover of your race right now as he's in 8th. Kendall Kerr to the backside. 21 last year. Talk about last year's champion. You're going to see if he's going to have his winning ways again and get himself back up here in the mix.
Al Corey washes up and hits the 6 car. Causes a caution.
But he's still rolling straight there.
Well, caution is out.
No, I know the caution's out. Everybody was rolling straight there. That's what threw me for a loop. See what kind of save that they had right here. Here's Al Corey. I think he got helped up there a little bit. 6 was just a little bit sideways. Caution was a little late. That's what I was looking at as far as the way it goes. Here's 45 right here. Comes up. You see the tap right there. Just trying to enter the corner just a little bit more thoughtfully right there. I think, actually, let me look at this just a little bit more differently here because the 56 and the 45 from the driver's point of view right here, watch this. Gets out of the gas a little bit. When he does, kind of gives a bump, sends his own car up the racetrack right there. Unfortunate circumstances. I think that has everything to do with the little bit of contact he made to the car, to the car in front of him, and then to the 56 in front of him, and then that drifts him up the racetrack a little bit right there. So a little bit more going on there than just kind of missing the line. Still, driver error. Back one more time. We'll take a look at that from behind him. So much going on the racetrack. It's so intense.
Yeah, it looks like the thing that's really important here is you really need to set that car into the racetrack when you're entering the corner. So you have to kind of hit your mark, and if you're off just by a little bit, it can really, really cause a problem when you're entering. You can kind of wash up and kind of have those issues that we saw there with the 45. That could be an issue with um, just being unsighted, because if you we saw the cockpit view there. If you're behind somebody, you have a hard time kind of seeing where that bottom line is that you're going to try to aim for. So that probably just is just a an issue with just being unsighted, missing the line just by a little bit, and maybe he's running a high steering box to where he has to move the wheel a lot for it to turn a little. So
Well, even so, you saw the move your meat, lose your seat situation there. That's too much of an impact when it's the same thing that you see with super speedway racing. If you move up a ton of spots, 37 saw that coming. He was like, I'm gonna stay low because this is about to be bad. Made it work though. Brandon Robinson, your race leader. They're going to be double file. They're going to go back to it. Hendricks back out front. Hendricks is able to avoid that as well. Nick Biddy back at the mix. 45 of Alcordy back outside. So some fast repairs and some damage being taken care of there. They don't mean to do it, folks. They don't mean to do it. Sometimes it just happens. And these cars are very, very, very easy to get free because of the you see that very, very short spoiler right there. Well, that's 6 inches of fun. That's all that is. It keeps enough downforce on the back of that car to keep it solid. A lot of the weight's in the front of the car. We're talking 3,000 pound vehicles, 3 to 5,000 pound vehicles, depending on fuel cycle, fuel loads, and the setups that they have for the engines. Also, $250,000 sitting underneath the hands of some of the folks out there in real life. So take that in consideration. All the stress dynamics that NASCAR puts into it. Then take the fact that iRacing has to make it digital. 56, 88, 46, 45. Big gap between the 45 and the 88 right there. No real checkup to get to the back bumper. Maybe thinking about that run to the inside.
yeah, that outside lane kind of getting spaced out a little bit. That inside lane also being kind of spaced out. We're going to see this bottom line become the preferred line pretty quickly here as we have the two from the outside drop down to the bottom. Yeah, you mentioned accidental. Yeah, all these wrecks are accidental. If there is an intentional wreck, that would be pretty bad, and we don't see that. So yeah, any of these things that kind of look kind of sketchy, just make sure you remember as we see the 6 car kind of wash up high that it is just mistakes. There are driver mistakes. If there is something that is intentional, it would be addressed, but we don't have a problem with that. So I know Al. I've raced Al for a long time. That was not an intentional thing. It was just a mistake.
Yeah, things happen, folks. If you ever think there's somebody does something intentional to do that, to bring out a caution or anything like that, I'll be the first to point it out. I don't care who wins. I don't care who does what. As long as the racing's clean. If somebody goes out there and plants one on somebody, I'll tell you that's what happened. I don't have a problem with that. But right now, it's all about the clean racing. It's all about getting to the end. Because right now, they still have 37 laps to go. And that's quite a bit of racing. We're talking about almost a full fuel cycle. Most of them came to pit road on 88, so we've ran 5 laps. And you talked about fuel strategy earlier. What was the fuel cycle again?
So we're looking to about like 42 to 45 laps. But yeah, I'd pay attention to the lower number, especially if you're running out front. Yeah, we got a close call there with the 98 and the 21, just kind of getting packed up there. But yeah, we've got a 26 laps remaining, so hopefully yeah, they should be able to or not 26, 36 laps remaining, so they should be able to make it here if they pitted the last time by.
Should and running hard. There's 2 different things. I knew he was going to be able to make it, the 88, because he's doing a great job of giving a big old shove to the bottom line. Misery out there, I'm so sorry I missed your messages on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I'm doing all right. Hopefully you're doing all right. Shane, thank you very much for being out there on the Facebook page. Thank you for the shares. Thank you to everybody out there doing what you do. Like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate you. You're all amazing. Again, apologies. I had to take a phone call. Phone calls from my mom are the most important ones because it usually means something's going on in life that I have to pay attention to, and that is absolutely what was happening. So I appreciate Kyle taking over the helm for a little bit there. Getting us all taken care of. 56, 88, 46, 21, 45. The 98 of Hadbach back here. Kerr trying to find pace anywhere at the moment. Little gyro cam action for you coming up.
I wanted to mention the 88 of Davey. He's doing probably the best job I've seen all night of being able to push somebody. You have to get close to the back bumper of the person in front of you to be able to kind of get that momentum. It doesn't have to be physical contact. You just need to be very, very close. So you kind of see that Kendall Kerr has got a bit of a gap on the outside to Biddy there, but Davey, I think, is almost single-handedly keeping that bottom lane alive with these pushes.
Oh, he's shoving him. All right, we'll hide this. Yeah, he's shoving him.
He's
he's
almost
shoving him.
wrecked 56. He saves it.
He's
It's a
shoving
very
him.
good job by Brandon Robinson.
He's shoving the heck out of him. I saw it from the left side of the screen. Here, let's get rid of the logos. We'll throw up the ticker for a moment. You can see it on the top side. Robinson did a great job for many laps holding on to it. The 88 trying to make sure that he was giving him a great shove around this racetrack. They were working very well together, and they're both probably in the same camp. Two Toyotas working together very, very nicely. Robinson trying to get back at it. Maybe they go back at it again. Right now, Rob Hattenbach to the inside. Ford's trying to lead here. Three of them. 1, 2, and 3. 98, 46, 21. 21 way up the racetrack. Somebody in the wall back here. Who is that? That is the 37 of Willie Whitaker.
Yeah, something I mentioned, kind of having the car set into the corner. That's a really important thing of making sure you kind of don't make too aggressive of a move through the tri-oval, because you will smack that wall. That wall is not nice. It is very, very easy to smack that wall, especially the second one through the second part of the tri-oval.
If you think about how that front stretch works, if you hook the tires on the bottom where you're talking about unforgiving, it's going to send you up the racetrack a little bit. You have to turn back into that quad oval one more time, or the quad tri-oval, however you want to call it, folks. Atlanta's been known to be a quad oval, but it looks more and more like a tri-oval every time they repave there, every time they make something work. 37 a little free off the corner there, 31 right there in front of them. Redding trying to make up some of that ground. He has really, really been trying to push, getting himself back in the mix. Malarkey back here has a whole lot of damage with Dixon. These are two of the drivers that you would thought to be up front, but right now that damage holding off. 98, 46, 56, 21, 45. The 88 there to the bottom. I think they're not done. Al Corey's not done. You know that he is not. 45 right there to the bottom side. Season 22 for the No-Toad Racing League. 20 years of fun. 22nd League, 3 wide once again. 56 back to the middle. 101 of 130 being completed. I don't know, man. That's a little too much for me. 56 still taking apart that lane. So here's the deal. Just like the Super Speedway, what you could do and what you could see is if I'm the 46 and he's no kin to mine, I'm gonna drop into the bottom lane, let 56 fall off.
I think you need to make this high line work, because you see the 98 getting very, very loose there, kind of entering the corner. I really like that high lane, and I think if you want to make moves here and be in the best position for the end of the race, I like the high lane. So we can be on the opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Like the high lane, but if I'm gonna get cut off, I'm not gonna work with somebody who's gonna cut me off. I'm gonna say, well, you should have given me a little bit more room there, but it's all right. That's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it. 46, 45 side by side. Brandon Robinson still leading from the outside. Biddy right there with him. Hattenbach to the inside.
So I mentioned the pushes. If you look here, look at the distance between Al Corey and the 98. You see how Al kind of closes up a little bit here, and he just, he's close now, but the 46 has been close to the 56 this entire lap. So he can push him, and he can push him enough to where he can mess him over and just kind of cut down to the bottom there. On the outside lane, we've got the 21 of Kendall Kerr getting into the back bumper of Nick Biddy. That might be a combination there to come up to the front is the 98 is very, very close to the back bumper of the 56. He is pushing him hard.
56 got a good enough run to cross down in front of the 98, and now left the 46 high and dry. Again, that's what I was talking about. If you've got nobody to work with, or if that's not the guy that's just kind of out there driving for yourself, well, I mean, it kind of could work, kind of couldn't work. 98's going to be right back to the inside. 56 drives up back to the high side.
We're starting to get some cars that are sucking back into this. We've got the 88 of Davey Hendricks. He's going to be the third car on the inside lane. So if they keep moving around and he can kind of shuffle up a position in one of these lanes, he might be in a good position here.
56, 46 high side. Kerr's going to be there with him. 98 there to the inside. Al Corey still trying to utilize that lift into the corner and to drop back in. Iracini right here in the number 24, hook in the bottom lane. You see his tires. Every time he hits that bottom lane, gets below that red line, it kind of shakes up the car, forces the 31 to check back up. Somebody knocked off back there. I don't know what happened there.
There's some evasive maneuvers as the 98 got really close to the back bumper of the 56. He's doing a good job of getting close to him, but in the middle of the corner, I think he's getting a little too close, but I think he's doing a better job at it than I was. He is looking inside, kind of clipping the apron there, is able to kind of get behind the 56 as the outside lane is still rolling good. You got the 24 here of Pericini and the 31 kind of coming on the outside. They're going to add numbers to that high line as we got the 37 of Willie Whitaker getting dead sideways, but he saves it on the apron. We stay green. The 98 washed up a little bit, almost hip checked Nick Biddy. That would have been really, really bad for Biddy if he got hit there.
56, 98, 46, 45, 21, 24. There's the 88 to the bottom.
Yeah,
Michael Redding in the 8 in that 8 spot. He's damaged. He's beaten. He's kind of really looking like he's seen better days. He's had some of the worst incidents today when it comes to where he's been able to be. But he's up there competing. Goes to show again the dexterity of these cars. Ileana Hamilton has been in and out of the top 10 all night long. John Campbell, somebody we mentioned earlier, but not somebody we've really kind of highlighted here. Just a little bit of left side nose damage on the Krispy Kreme 117. He's been able to try to push a little bit more here towards the end of the race. 22 laps to go. To the outside is the 74. Crutchley back in the mix as well. 48's been able to make it work. James Lawson, the 66 right there in 14th. Ryan Cooper trying to bring up the tail end of the field here with the 77, but the 77 of Corval is going to be a lap down or so, 3 laps down still, as some of the drivers are still trying to find some of that pace towards the end of the race. Almost 3 wide to the front side here as the 98, the 56, 31, 24 up high. 21 trying to go for the lead here. Nick Biddy to the bottom side. I talked about Nick Biddy in the 56. Who's going to be able to alternate, who's going to be able to work together. Well, right now, the 21's going for the lead here, trying to be that guy at the end.
Yeah, I think we've seen the 56 kind of have those problems there being able to keep the car on the bottom. I think that's a consequence of him running that tight entry, not kind of washing out here, just kind of going the bottom way. You see the 21 of Kendall Kerr, he's able to kind of widen out the run there and be able to get down on the door and I think just kind of keep the radius off of the tire. So he's able to carry the momentum here, and I think we're starting to see some really good pushes here kind of coming up the front. So we've got a bunch of cars lined up on the bottom here that might aid the bottom, but yeah, I still like that high lane.
46 below the apron again. Yeah, it's just you can't do anything with the bottom lane. It's the same way with the super speedways and the next gen cars. Nothing happening, and the only way you're going to be able to do this is leapfrog. So if I am once again, I am no kin to the person in front, let him roll. I want to be second. I want to be third. I want to be able to make that move at the end. I don't know that I want to be the guy pushing right now. 41 drops in. Almost just gives up the lane. He's going to drop in front of the 46. Takes a lot of speed scrubbed off. Almost gets turned by the 46 there. A lot of close action happening here. 98 can drop in. Almost 3 wide. 21, 46, 56, 24, 31, 98, 45, 88, 73, 117 is your top 10. They're gonna, they're getting loose. They're going to wreck. There goes the 56 up on the racetrack.
Oh, everyone avoids him. Everyone did a really good job there to avoid that accident.
Caution once again. Thinking of Nerds Doing Earth. Thanks for being my caution sponsor. Appreciate them very much through all of my series. Being an absolute gem. I played the commercial earlier. I'm not going to do it again. It's some miscommunication on that kind of stuff that I need to go over. 56 kind of drifts up the racetrack right there a little bit. We're looking over the caution here. A little far chase fuel will help out this this kind of stint. And we'll take a look at it. Here it is. Maybe drifts up to the 24. Oh, a little contact, and then not much he could have done there. 24 did the same thing. So kind of a two-part hard racing situation here. 56 drifts up to the 24. Little door tap to him, which forces the 24 a little bit free right about here. Little boom, look kind of almost like netcode, but disrupts the car, gets him free. You see the back wheel spin for the 24. He gets a little bit free, and then boom, back at it again. That's at quarter speed, folks. And then, hold on. Then the 56 gets the helicopter award. Everybody else brake behind him, and he comes to a dead stop. Plants it for a 9.4 out of 10. Helicopter for you.
Yeah, this track is, it's not like we've mentioned before. It's not like a normal super speedway. If it was easy to kind of keep it on the white line, we would have seen that bottom line, be dominant here. We'd have everyone running that bottom lane and, just kind of painting that white line, probably making it a little bit black the entire way around, especially in the middle of the corners. But, we're seeing the problem even exiting where we're kind of getting that push and, that kind of blend into the second lane that the people on the outside are kind of getting scared of, because you don't want to be on the outside of somebody who's gonna hit the apron or can't keep the car on the bottom and kind of wash up and hip check you, because more than likely you're going to be the one that's going to be spun around rather than them.
Part of the issue with this kind of racing is that right there. You try to hold on. You've got a very, very free car. You've got a car that's lighter than normal as well. And with 16 laps to go, if you think that maybe some door banging is over, it's not. These cars are far too equal, even with damage. We're seeing cars that have heavier, if not significant, damage to their vehicles. Got to be being able to be knocked around. Robinson, he may have some nose damage and some stuff taken care of, but if he can keep up with the draft on the restart of the race, then I would say that he might be able to take care of things. Let's see. Lights are going to be off on the pace car this time. Bye, folks. Kerr, Biddy, Redding, Corey, Jester, Hendricks, Hamilton. The 6, Bach, and Campbell are going to make it exactly where it is. iRacing pace car, giving them some love. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic evening out there. Thank you to everybody tuning in. I know it's 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It is kind of some late racing here. Ninth caution of the race for the folks. I know we are normally starting a lot earlier, and I made the mistake earlier because I thought it was actually going to be for whatever reason I thought it started at 8 Central, not 8:30 Central. So I do apologize about that, folks. When I made the event, I had to reschedule it. So if you were following the event before, we'll make sure that it's correct for the next folks. Make sure you follow the No Toad Racing League for all their action on YouTube. YouTube.com/NTRL. That is the No Toad Racing League. You can also hit the search bar for them. Kerr, Biddy, Redding, Corey, Hendricks, Jester. The 6 of Joseph is going to be ready to go. A lot of Fords, a couple of Chevys, and one Toyota inside the top 10.
We got a big stack up there on the restart. We're going to have a very spread out field through the back here. We've got a sort of a defined kind of high line throughout the rest of the pack, but up front here we've got Kendall Kerr. He's got to make a decision here, and I think he's going to decide to go high here with Biddy. He goes high with Biddy. Yeah, we've got some people that have stayed out on their have stayed out on their tires. So you've got these people up front who are running old tires, and then you got people in the back who pitted for new tires. Now that's typically not a thing you're going to worry about at super speedway races, but I do believe you're going to see some of those people on the newer tires be able to kind of come through and make more decisive moves and be able to carry more speed, because they're not going to be worried about the tire wear they have.
Kerr, the 21, Biddy back to the outside in the 46. I think if he does it again, he slides it. If he gets cut off one more time, I think Biddy's not going to hold back anymore. It's happened to him more times than not. And I don't normally stick up for somebody who's had their nose cut off, but that guy has had it cut off all day long. 12 to go here. 21 to the inside. Hendricks right behind the 46 of Nick Biddy. 31 of Redding has been able to rebound again. All that damage all over that car. Al Corey to the outside. 98 of Hattenbach trying to make some things work, and then Al Corey makes it roll. Kerr left alone, and right now might have some help with the form of the 98. 45 rolling the high side. 73 of Hamilton to the inside. 24 back there. Want to make it work as well. There's Brian Cooper, our Iowa Hawkeye fan, trying to have a little bit better of a luck, and I think it has to deal with the college on the card. No, totally joking. I have to give him crap. He's not far from me.
Yeah, you're seeing the 24 here. He's the first person that I can remember that took 4 tires on that stop. So he has got freshies. So he might be able to make more decisive moves here in these final 10 laps.
Nick Biddy came in on 88, took 4 tires in. Kerr came in on 88, took 4 tires in as well. Attenbach came in on 50. The 98 came in and took tires on 114. So he's.
Kendall hits the apron. Oh, he's going to cause a huge stack up wreck as the 73 of Hamilton gets caught up to 24.
Wrecking. Naj involved. 73. It's a ping pong effect here, folks. They are all just destroyed. 10th caution with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, the 21 just kind of caught the apron and sort of get a lazy spin, was able to catch it, but the 98 can hit him in the back bumper because, he's got a car kind of slowing down very fast ahead of him. But, yeah, it's kind of everyone behind those two that kind of got caught up in the accident there real bad. I think that might be the end of the night there for Michael Redding. Got some major hits in this wreck.
Kerr comes down, tires below, he gets free, tires below the apron, he's free, and then bump, and then there goes the 73. The 73 was Ileana Hamilton was the one that kind of bounced off the wall, and everybody had that 48 goes up and over. Naj gets up and over. Man. Unfortunate. Tell you what, Atlanta Motor Speedway has turned into... We talk about the super speedway style of racing that's going on here for these cars. It's not normally this kind of race line, not this kind of racetrack, and it is going to show that the repave is doing exactly what you'd expect for these cars. 77, getting another lap back. He's about 3 laps down now, isn't he? No, he's a lap down. He needs another caution. Somebody give him another caution. Wave him around. Put him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, we got a couple cars a lap down currently, but yeah, no, this I don't know what to call this because you have the super speedway. You typically define it by length, so this is technically an intermediate, but a race is like a super speedway. Do we just call it like a pseudo speedway or something? Sounds close to a super speedway.
I'd call it. I don't know. I can't say what I would call it. I think the racetrack is driving like it was intended to, and that's pretty much what I mean, this racetrack is going to go through changes over the course of the next decade or more because of a repave, and so it'll start driving differently over the course of those years. But as they put more and more vehicles on it and more laps around the track, but. For the most part, the way that it's been widened and it's been looked at as they wanted to take out some of the old concrete, take out some of the old issues that they were having with water, and so the repave was almost necessary anyway because the track was kind of cracking and breaking. So they did take care of that. So Atlanta Motor Speedway getting a big facelift in it, and I tell you what, it's nothing wrong with it. But I would hate to see tracks level have the repave to make it drive simply. You know what I mean? Atlanta used to have a lot of grit to it. It had a specific way that you needed to drive it and a specific way you needed to pass. And now, if the Xfinity cars continue to run this like a super speedway, so to speak, I would consider putting a bigger spoiler on the back end so they have a little bit more push.
Yeah, but those because typically you see at a super speedway they run that kind of spoiler with the ends missing. Kind of run maybe more the spoiler we used to see back in the early 2010s. Those bunny ear spoilers.
Put the 9.5-inch ones on there and let them go. 6 to 8 inch spoilers don't really do much, and you're seeing that right there on these ones. They do have that little dovetail, but you know, the Xfinity Series cars getting out there, and you know what? It can make for some interesting racing, but it just one mess up at 1.5 miles that drives this way, and you feel bad for all the drivers because then it just destroys the race for them. But you know what? What a Cinderella story it could be to come back and do it again. Biddy gets the green flag there, 6 laps to go. I said it wasn't over, and there's more racing. They're going to be single file for a moment.
Yeah, Davey here is going to have a decision to make. He's going to have a run, and he's going to get it right as they're exiting the corner. Is he going to try to get by Biddy here?
Oh, yeah, he's going to go around.
Yes.
There's too much of a run to at 1.5 miles to say no to that. And he's going to have help with Kerr behind him. 98 of Hattenbach behind. 46 has got no help.
Yeah, we've got 2 by 2, or 2 on the inside and 3 on the outside. I really like that outside lane, especially with how Kendall Kerr is pushing. And you see Biddy, not intentionally, but just kind of having a problem, kind of keeping it on the apron there, on the bottom there, as you see the 88 is also constricting his line. So he's kind of forcing him to run more constricted.
88's able to run next to the wall and then drive into the corner. That's exactly what you want to drive, how you want to drive 1.5 mile track. And right now, 46 can pull the air off of that 88. But he needs the 98 to be on his rear bumper on the exit. That's the only way that this works. Because if not, the 21 and the 88 are going to pull away, or at least the 88 will with 4 laps to go. The 88 might be able to defend this position and make that run on the outside work as long as the 21 doesn't put it 3 wide. That's opportunities here. There is opportunities for 3 wide because they are leaving that bottom lane way open. Or that middle lane way open is the 46 and the 88 trying to run together here. 98 to the inside, side-by-side racing here as the front stretch travel works the same. Hendricks still leads that lap, 3 laps to go.
Yeah, we've got 4 cars now on the outside lane. I think the momentum is going to favor the high side. It's just what can Biddy do to kind of slow that 88 down. So you see that it has a little bit of momentum down the backstretch. It's really only coming from the 98 car, as the 66 of James Lawson isn't really packing on the 98 there. Yeah, Biddy is starting to wash up entering this corner every time, and then they all sort of push down towards the bottom so they can get a better exit off of it.
Biddy wants to run higher. That's what you're seeing. 2 laps to go here. If Nick Biddy wants to run that second lane, Nick Biddy has the control to run that second lane. 46 will have the control car on the exit. They're going to be side by side again. If I'm Nick Biddy, I'm running that second lane. If the 88 gives it to me, I'm running it. Inside run, 88 side by side. We're going to have a white flag here if nothing happens on turn 4. 98, 88 side by side. Biddy did a great job there. White flag waves. Hendricks would have won the race if that were the end of it. Let's see what happens here toward the end.
You got the 98 had a wiggle there, so he forced the kind of got the 46, killed his momentum there. As 46 is going to have an opportunity here down the back straightaway.
Too soon. 21 to the high side. 46 will push him.
Oh no!
He did. Big wreck. Somebody's going to win this race. And it's not going to be who you think it's going to be. It's going to be your sponsor. Jason Benson comes around and wins it here after everybody gets dumped at the end. Malarkey will finish second. Dustin Barton will finish third.
Yeah, great job there for Jason Benson, just kind of surviving, just needing to find those holes and get ready and get through that.
That's exactly what he did. There was nothing. The white flag waves, all gloves are off, and 88, he dropped in too soon. It was too soon for him to drop in. and it's unfortunate. So Davey Hendricks got himself a big push there. I think that was hard racing.
I would put that on hard racing. I think maybe, I know it's the final lap, but I think there is an opportunity there for, I don't know.
Too much happened.
There's contact and probably maybe shouldn't have been, but it's the final lap, so.
Hey, you know who's happy? The race winner. Jason Benson comes home not only as your sponsor with the State Puft 200, blows his engine trying to do burnouts because he's got some damage. He's going to be able to do it. He is going to be able to do it. There you go, buddy. Get it. Full send.
Yeah, Benson in the ARCA series, he won the last time. We were on a super speedway there as well, so he's he knows how to do these super speedway races. He didn't win that how he usually wins them, but win's a win, and he won that one.
How crazy is this? So I went back to look at the checkered flag situation when they were coming around, and as soon as I clicked on the card to take the 20-second rewind, well, there it is. His car's just kind of stuck there, dividing the sea. Look at that. He did. I mean, he took some damage getting through it. But let's ride along with him and see what happened here. There's a little cockpit view for you. They got Dicey in front, and there's nothing he could do. Nothing he could do. He just kept going. There it is. That's how he won the race. I love it. Good job. Well deserved.
Who is it that won that race where Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch wrecked in the Xfinity race and they went all the way on the apron? Was that James Busher?
I think it was Busher. Yeah, I think it was. I think that's still funny. There's nothing he could do. In that situation, he's 5 cars back on the outside lane, or 4 cars back on the outside lane. There's nothing you could do. You just had to, at that particular point, you're sent. There's you're either wrecking with everybody or you just keep it straight as possible and keep going. And that's exactly what happened. So Benson, Malarkey, Barton, that'll be your top 3. Biddy, Dixon, Joseph finishes in 6th relative to his number. Willie Whitaker finishes in 7th. Cooper, Lawson, Kerr, Hendricks, Hattenbach, Crutchley finishes in 13th. Mike Rovo finishes in 14th, Al Corey 15th, Sargent, Redding, Pursini all the way to 18th, and then down the rest of the race results. There you go. There it is, folks. Thank you to Marshall for being out there running the numbers for us. I think hopefully he was, because he was 130 laps down. He's got a lot of catching up to do. If that's not the case, let's talk to some folks. Let's get them in here, and big congratulations to the 42. I want to make sure that we give him some love, because that was insane. Actually, let's just do this. Let's just bring them all up here. It'd just be easier to bring them all up here. Jason, congratulations on the race win. You parted the seas and came up victor.
Oh yeah, that was incredible. That was just unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Did you think you had a shot in the dark with all that stuff going on in front of you? Did you think whenever they started wrecking, you were like, oh God, here's the end of my race?
Yeah, no, I was pretty sure that I was going to get slammed up against the wall or something and just, have everybody go past me. So, yeah, no, I can't wait to see the replay. But from what my vantage point, it was just, I don't even know what happened. I can't believe it.
It's a lot of contact. And when I went back and looked at the replay to try to see what was going to happen there, the first picture was you just cleared, or as clear as you could be. Congratulations! You sponsored the race and you win it. That's pretty darn awesome. What made you decide to sponsor the Atlanta race?
This is actually the 3rd Stay Puft 200 at Atlanta that we've done. So it's just kind of like a tradition at this point. And yeah, I mean, this is my first Xfinity win, so it's kind of poetic justice that I got to sponsor it and everything. But it was a great race, and I appreciate everybody for giving me that chance.
Tell you what, it was a good race. Kyle, anything for our race winner here?
Yeah, Jason, you have a bit of a habit of being up front at these super speedway races. Do you think this is going to be a strategy you're going to adapt to all the other super speedway races? Just kind of hang around at what position were you in when that wreck happened?
Which one?
The last one.
God, I think it was maybe 7th or 8th.
So you're just going to hang around in 7th and wait until everyone wrecks in front of you for the next one?
I've been around enough to know that's not always the case. Sometimes you got to be a little bit further up front, but I think the stars just aligned this time, and I'm definitely going to keep trying to push it.
Always a
All right, well,
pleasure.
good win there.
Always a pleasure to talk to somebody who can. I wouldn't say that you were squeaking by there, but it was pretty close. Probably sounded like a pop can being squished between two shoes there for a moment. But it was a great finish, a great looking finish, and congratulations once again, Jason. Give shout outs out there. Much love to you. And once again, Atlanta's yours.
Just thanks to all the fans. Stay puffed, obviously. Graphic Gibson, my wife, the league, and Rafter and Sarge and everybody, and you and Kyle.
Always a ton of fun. Jason Benson, your race winner. Malarkey comes home second. Justin, you had a day, man. You had a day.
Yeah. Every single accident I think I was in.
Yeah, your car seemed like it was destined to be a different color before the end of the racetrack here. Different kind of racetrack, different kind of race line. We've got a mile and a half track that's supposed to be a cookie cutter, and it turned into a super speedway for Xfinity cars. Walk me through this one.
Yeah, definitely different than the old Atlanta. This track, I really was hoping we'd get like 30 laps in. I wanted to see how the tires would be, because it seemed like maybe every 8 or 10 laps we got going, they started wearing, people were lifting, but we were just all on top of each other. I've never experienced a race like this actually tonight. There was probably what, like 8, 9 cautions?
10, yeah, so 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. I think it was 10 cautions by the time it was all said and done. But I mean, cautions are going to happen. You get to see cautions in some of, especially with a new track when the pattern is kind of designed for you before you even get into the race. I mean, I was telling Kyle that it reminded me when the next gen cars were first introduced to iRacing before they had any track telemetry from NASCAR. And how they kind of drove around Charlotte. It was a full throttle all the way around like a super speedway. It seemed like that's exactly what happened here today. And made for collision adjustments. Everybody was free, everybody was loose, and everybody just seemed like when everybody got tight, and there's no way to really get on the brakes to check up for anybody.
Yeah, 3 and 4 you would definitely get really tight. Some people running the bottom, you go in and you drift up in the middle of the corner. It kind of made for some close calls all night.
Yeah, it's weird. Seem Kyle, anything for Justin here? P2 finisher. He's been stacking up the points. I'm telling you, I toot your horn and you finish well. It's weird.
Yeah, you're you're one of 3 winners this year, with Davey winning every other one except for this and the Talladega race that you won. But yeah, no, you had a good result today, and just what were your thoughts coming through that final quarter?
For once, I was glad my car could not keep up with everyone else, because I had enough time to react. I was just down that little bit with that damage, and I was about 4 or 5 car lengths off of them, and I saw them spinning, and I had time to react. For once, that paid off. So I just knew to get to the bottom, because I didn't want to get turned back up into the wall, and just the seas parted.
You're killing me over here. I guess that would be a great time for that to happen. Justin, always a pleasure, man. Give your shout outs, my friend. Back me up. For once, I'm glad my car was damaged.
Yep.
Never heard that. Never heard that.
You keep talking to me, you'll hear everything. Yeah, I have to give a shout out to you. It was probably quiet tonight. Comments. The entire fan base is out traveling. They're coming home from Atlantic City, and pretty disappointed. I think they probably missed a good one, so they'll be watching tomorrow, but they won't be able to comment with you.
That's okay. They can comment. I kept Facebook, kept YouTube comments on, so they'll be able to comment. I'll be able to hear what they say. So, but it's all good.
Hopefully next week the car won't have damage, and it'll be better.
Oh man, Justin, any more shout outs for you?
No, but thank you to Jason. Congratulations to him. And I know you guys said he was sponsoring, so stay puffed. I was Googling him online, so hopefully some people will check it out. Always good if someone sponsors to go check him out. That's for sure.
Tell you what, Stay Puft is the best marshmallow cream out there. Not only that, but it was in Ghostbusters. I mean, come on, Stay Puft marshmallow.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 1.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but Ghostbusters, come on, Justin. Thank you, man. I appreciate you as always.
Yep. See you Wednesday.
Yes, sir. He's gonna be back. He's gonna have some fun. And Dustin Barton is gonna be your P3 finisher. Dustin, boy howdy! It seemed like ping pong central for you. What could hit you did hit you.
Yeah, I mean, even the wall got me a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, I usually race ARCA, but this is a new track and it looked pretty fun, so I thought I'd jump in here tonight, and I'm glad I did.
It did. I will say that it did look fun, and I had to step away and a big special thank you to Kyle. I had to step away for about I think it was like 30 laps, and I was watching what was going on there, and a caution comes out in between that, and it just seemed like it would be fun. It just seemed like trying to get everybody into that groove where that close niche racing on this track. I think that's something that folks are going to have to get used to. This is the first time that these cars have been here in this kind of prime time situation here, so to speak, that puts not only pressure but puts the focus right there on exactly what everybody's doing. And it just seems like one, it could be fun, but two, it was kind of difficult.
There's a few challenges there. I think some people got a little too fixated on following the red line coming out of 4, and if you're going to square that corner up, it's going to cause some finagles there later on. But with the tire wear, that was fun. I liked that personally. I wish there was a bit more. I missed the old Atlanta, if I'm being honest. But this tight super speedway racing with that tire wear about 10 laps in definitely made it interesting.
Yeah, I do. I think I'm going to miss the old Atlanta as well. Just because of the way, just the way that this wasn't the normal Atlanta like impact racing that you see. It was more geared towards the super speedway sector of it. And but you know what, it's going to be in every other league, and I'm gonna get used to it, and I'm going to appreciate it for the driveline it has. And I've learned a lot from this racetrack today. I'm sure you guys have as well. Kyle, anything for Dustin? He kind of slayed it there, able to avoid some stuff at the very end.
Yeah, no, I'm like it was said, you're just kind of involved in a lot of stuff today. Not of your own doing, but just accidents and just getting caught up in it. You weren't really up front the whole day, and then all of a sudden at the end of the race, we have this big pile up, and you're able to scoot on through. We thought you were going to have it because you were the first car really pointed out through there, and got kind of slowed up there, and Benson got by you. But yeah, what were you thinking there going in that final corner?
I mean, I knew the bottom line wasn't going to go anywhere, but the top line had the highest chance of crashing, so I was just holding steady for probably a P7, P8. Then they wrecked, and I went low. I thought I was going to clear Biddy, if I'm being honest, and then he saved it but didn't save it, and then we connected just at the line coming out of 4, and he went back around, and at that point I'd lost too much momentum, and Benson gotten through, and then I looks at the timing, and it looks like Justin got me by less than a tenth or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. I wanted to make sure that I pulled you. I talked you in the right order because that was going to be a close finish there at the end. But it's still insane, man. I mean, could you get everything parted? You were there.
I mean, my strategy is always to try to go for the pole, and if I can't get that, I'll usually fall back to the end of the pack and just ride in the back. It's a super speedway race. We have a lot of laps to log. I kind of just wish people would kind of do the same thing, but we got a show to put on, so here we are.
Yeah, keep putting on the show. That's what's important here. Dustin, it's always a pleasure. Give you shout outs, man.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, no, you give shout outs. You got family. You got people out there to thank, not just us. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, all right. I just want to say thank you to my sponsor tonight, Canada. The entire country's behind me in this race, and I really felt it. But yeah, had a great time. Thanks for doing the broadcast tonight, guys. Really appreciate that. Looking forward to rewatching it later too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hook you up with some more Canadians. I know that Piercini's in here is Canadian, but I'm going to hook you up with some more. I'm going to get a full Canadian team in one of these series because I'm not from Canada. I'm from deep south and in the Midwest over here in the U.S. But I tell you what, some of these Canada drivers, they've got it going on, man. They know exactly what they're doing. Dustin, much love, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Always, Kyle. Takeaways from the race, other than what are they going to do what are leagues going to be looking at when it comes to these kinds of this kind of track, this kind of pace, and this kind of racing?
I think it's all dependent on what the league's kind of mentality is. I think this is a good like super speedway style track to kind of go to. But if you're a series that really likes kind of having a traditional format, I don't think this is going to be a thing that's going to change the balance of having maybe like 2 super speedway races. But I do think this is something you can put in the rotation and kind of change up the norm of going to Daytona and Talladega every year. We have old bumpy Daytona, but I think this adds to the mix with iRacing Super Speedway. And for series that do super speedway racing, this is a completely different beast to kind of have and tame. But yeah, we had 10 cautions tonight. We had just a whole bunch of action, and then we had a finish where we thought we knew what was going to happen and who the contenders were, and then everything went up in smoke, and some guy who's in 7th place ends up sneaking through the accident, finishing and winning his own sponsored race. So what we learned is anything can happen, and that racing is crazy and unpredictable, and every time we put one of these races on, we really don't know who's going to win it until the final lap.
And I will tell you that iRacing did change the feature for the cautions. Caution laps are only 3 laps now, folks. So 10 cautions for 30 laps. They had 39 different lead changes, which is what you hear in super speedway racing. You don't hear that in mile and a half racing unless it's just a disastrous caution fest. Let's see. Most laps led today. Davey Hendricks 30, Brandon Robinson 31. So those and then Nick Biddy, of course, with 40. Nick Biddy most laps led. Jason Benson led 1 lap, and that was the last one.
Biddy's gonna walk away tonight with a decent points haul. I know he finished 4th, and he was looking at a second or a first place finish there, but yeah, he's gonna have a decent points haul tonight. Yeah, and just a shakeup of the order. Davey Hendricks, he thought he was going to get his 5th win of the year, and then had contact there in the final corner, and spun and wrecked out, and ends up finishing unofficially all the way down in 11th. They need to go through the official order here and actually check, because some people got some black flags for going through the pit lane, but it's all stuff that'll get figured out for the people, and you guys will find out about it next week when we go to Richmond Raceway, the best track ever made, and I live 15 minutes from there.
Yeah, Richmond's a good racetrack. You're going to see some good racing there. Michael Redding, fastest lap of the race, 30.843. That's going to be and that's from the 31. He ran that late in the race too. He was damaged when he ran that. His best lap was lap 40, and that was after he had to take his fast repair.
Yeah, you saw a lot of people just you had a bunch of guys deciding to go with the low line there, and yeah, just some people like specifically like Malarkey, Parasini, and Redding just kind of getting that high line and just kind of rolling past 3 or 4 cars in a corner and then catching up to the outside cars. So potentially that's where that lap came from.
Yeah, always fun, folks. We appreciate you. Kyle picked up double duty today for me today, and I appreciate it very much. I had a lot of. I don't like getting phone calls, and I don't like having things pop up in the middle of a race like that. But it does happen. Families first, and I will always say that. That is kind of the way things go. So I appreciate Kyle being here, because if not, I probably would have had to end the stream. So thank you very much, Kyle, for being a part of the old platform over here. I thank you very much for that. And then let's see, No Toad Racing League back at it tomorrow night. IVRL is going to be Mid Ohio in the Truck Series. Tuesday night, Goat Racing League. Wednesday night, back at it, the Winston Throwback Series. They're going to get their Daytona 500 underway. And then Thursday, we've got the Chop Shop Racing Series. Friday, we're going to be podcasting it up. Kyle, you're more than welcome to join me for that podcast. We'll talk about racing there.
I know about that.
Yeah, and
Watch it every once in a while.
and we talk about gaming and all kinds of other stuff too. It's kind of our like chill out and relax stuff. So, that'll be all good. We'll take care of that on Friday, and then Saturday back at it with the, of course, the fantastic event that we're going to be having coming up for the Interleague Chop Shop versus Goat Racing League. They're going to be running Gen 6 cars at Auto Club, and that will be insane. We'll look forward to it. 75% race over there, and it's going to be nuts. So, folks, we love you, appreciate you, Kyle. Any shout outs for you, because you don't get the opportunity to do that very often. Kyle, tell people thank you.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I was trying to read something. I saw something kind of confusing about the race, but yeah, no, this good race, and thank you everybody for watching.
That's the man. That's what I'm talking about, Kyle.
That's how you do it.
That's right. Justin's out there still. Thank you, Justin.
Oh man, you scared me.
No, he's been here. He's been listening.
Oh, I know he's been in here. I just wasn't
He's
expecting
dropping.
He said that's fine. It's good. Yes, Justin. I have lots of days.
All right, sync up with me then.
Okay. You in my Discord? No, we're gonna invite you to my Discord. I had to do a different Discord because of all the other stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yep. We'll talk about that stuff too. Folks, thank you. Much love. We'll get everybody taken care of. Appreciate you. See you the next one. Peace. I'm gonna get that button right eventually.